perhaps a little drink first?
Oh, thank you, Hero. That's very kind, yes. That'll do, thank you. Oh, hello everyone. Well, as you can probably tell, we're up here on Spacehawk to make the selection today. In fact, Hero says we can stay the night, so we're going to have a little bit of a sleepover. You know, watch a film, have some snacks.
This will be the first time I have ever had 3 of you in the same bed.
Hero, really? There may be children listening.
It's kind of weird.
Oh, you can say that again, 101. Oh, what's that, Marina? Oh, Marina's asking if she could have some more lemonade, please.
Oh, you drank that quickly? Just a little bit more then.
Have you ever considered that there may be others on board that would benefit from some daily interaction?
Oh, do you feel I have been neglecting you, 101?
No, Hero, it's not that. I think 101 just feels a little left out in general, you know? I mean, after all, it was Pod 101 last week, and he wasn't even mentioned.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And after all we've been through, too.
Well, don't worry, 101. We're here today because we would like you to make the 101st Randomiser selection. Let me just reach past you and drag it over.
Hey! What did I tell you about doing that on my nice shiny floor?
Oh, sorry. Well, it should be close enough now for you to reach the button.
You have a 1050.
That's it, thank you. And I'm sure Lieutenant Hero appreciates you. Don't you, Hero?
101. I hold your friendship in the highest regard and find our conversations most stimulating. Tomorrow, we shall embark on a whole new series of conversations.
There, you see?
Right after I finish germinating some new seeds.
New seeds?
Well, it's a start, isn't it?
Typical.
Anyway, let's see what you've chosen on the old randomizer today. Oh, well done, 101. It's Terrahawks, and it's Close Call. In fact, 101, could I get you to give us the intro line?
Oh no, you don't.
Oh, go on, please.
Okay. Terrahawks, stay on this channel. This is an emergency.
Perfect. So here we are back in the early days of Terrahawks with a very somber opening. This pan across the ruins of the Mars expedition base. It's nice when the show remembered that this place existed. And I love the idea that Zelda just left it. It makes her destruction of it seem all the more pointless. Anyway.
Is maintaining a planned radio silence.
Yes, as part of a test program.
Do you expect my 100 million readers to believe that? I'm accusing NASA of a cover-up.
Oh, nonsense.
I believe the base on Mars has been attacked, possibly destroyed. I believe the Earth itself may well be threatened.
Pure speculation.
I'm convinced a defense organization has been set up to counter the threat.
He said in his column he was going to drop a bombshell tonight.
I think it could be coming up right now.
I believe the name of the organization is Terrahawks.
So this is reporter Mark Darrel talking to NASA Colonel Johnson.
Denial of all theories produced without a shred of evidence.
And this is his first appearance, I believe.
What about some solid evidence?
Which is strange because at this point we don't know he has any connection to the Terrahawks. He may as well just be a one-off guest character. Indeed, he might have been a one-off guest character, and they decided after that to keep him around.
One thing I do know, that man could be a threat to our entire security.
Back to Hawk Nests.
Anyway, this is episode 4 of Terrahawks, and probably... Oh, no, actually, because it's the 4th shown, I think. There's always that issue in the early days of Terrahawks where you've got Gold sat there as the... Was it the 3rd episode made, which would make this the 5th episode made, maybe? I don't know.
There is a space freighter in the area, but CSC are getting a double echo.
You mean there may be 2 ships?
Yeah. And one of them could be Zelda using the...
This was another Terrahawks trope as well. Oh, there's always a freighter in the way. There's a space station in the way. Oh, we can't do it. The president's flying past. It was always that excuse for one episode only, and then it never happened again.
If it was Zelda's ship, it's through.
Although I still think the Terrahawks have a better success rate at repelling alien ships than Shadow do.
I have a possible lead, which... Lightning. And close. But no thunder.
Still writing his story about the Terrahawks. I'm not quite sure how he got onto the Terrahawks. You could assume that maybe Zelda had clued him in. That would be one way the story could have unfolded. But as we see here, this is his first encounter with Zelda. One of her ships is landing in his back garden, in fact. that's nice. That was approaching Darrel's model house, and there's this sort of Zelda hissing noise. It's a lovely, creepy, suspenseful build-up to the reveal of Zelda and Youngstar in this scene. You don't often have moments of them seeming menacing like this. Again, that wouldn't last very long.
I know you're there.
Put the gun down.
There she is.
Who are you?
My name is Zelda. Drop the gun.
With the cube. Oh, there's poor old Youngstar.
My mother says.
Very soggy.
What do you want?
I find we have a mutual interest. The Terrahawk organization.
You've broken into my house. I'm warning you, there's an automatic alarm system. The police will be on their way. My mother can control matter. You will notice she is not wet from the rain.
Youngstar, meanwhile, is soaked, which is an early indication of how little
The Terrahawks.
Zelda cares for her son.
Going to help each other.
Is it Darrel's down?
Bring him to the ship.
But presumably not dead. The cube shot him with a smaller hole than the shot it fired earlier. So Darrel is presumably not dead at this point. Keep that in mind. It's going to be important as we go through this.
You disciplined Hawkeye without hearing his side of the story.
7 days loss of privilege for failing to log a service report?
It may not have been his fault.
It was his responsibility.
You must be fair.
I'm not
And here's one of the weaker elements of this episode, which thankfully didn't last too long after this. The
fighting unit at all times.
taking the show
See fair play.
seriously, for lack of a better word. Having this scene would work,
What did you want to tell?
but not with these puppets.
The supply Overlander has reached section.
There's just something about these puppets, they can't really... Seeing them argue about discipline, and later on there's a similar scene about security.
Day at the beach.
Oh, that's a nice line, though. Yeah, it doesn't work with these puppets, which is probably why they didn't do too many more scenes like that after this. Anyway, here comes the greatest Terrahawks vehicle for a lot of people, the Overlander, their supply train,
Ready for liftoff, sir.
10:50.
which Battlehawk is now going out to meet.
Set course for rendezvous point.
ETA, 64 minutes.
Oh, this thing is a real monster. It reminds me a lot of the 3 army trucks from the Joe 90 episode, Colonel McLean. I'm sure they were an inspiration for this. Just seeing this, these vehicles just ploughing across the countryside. This is a lot bigger than those Joe 90 trucks. It's on the scale of a Thunderbird's vehicle, like the Sidewinder or the Crab Logger, just destroying everything it meets. Anyway, here's Darrel in a cube.
Offense intended. I'll tell you one thing. I don't trust her. Or that idiot's son. But I made a deal, and I'll keep it.
You certainly will, Darrel.
Ooh, so this is Darrel in a cube out in the desert.
Well,
He's getting a green light shined in his face. But again, at this point, though, he still seems to be the same Mark Darrel as he was at the start of the episode. Bit of sass there. Talking about Zelda behind her back.
Lower the cargo door.
Again, remember that. It's going to be important later on.
Sir.
Oh, and Battlehawk is unloading her rear cargo door. I don't remember seeing that in any other episode. Oh, the cube is spinning. What's it going to do? What's Darrel going to do? Oh, lots of colours. And the Overlander is stopping. Oh, what a gorgeous vehicle.
the Overlander. It stopped. Complete electronic failure.
We'd better get out there.
And now it's starting again. Oh, those huge tyres. They do so much to make this model look absolutely enormous.
Wait. It's moving again.
You don't always get much of a sense of scale with the Terrahawks models, except for the Overlander. It's like they saved up all the sense of scale for this one vehicle. Anyway, Darrel is now at the controls of the Overlander with his friend the cube aboard as well.
Destroy the Terrahawks!
Oh, that's a nice shot. Close-up of Darrel's eyes replaced suddenly with Zelda's eyes. And the Darrel puppet is an okay-looking guest character, except he's, much like many Terrahawks characters in the early days, prone to showing off his teeth even when his mouth isn't open. And this is one of my favourite pieces of incidental music in the whole show. It's wonderful.
And closing fast.
I don't like it.
Oh no, not the random installation in the middle of nowhere. You just crushed it. Blew it up. Just a little box with some pipes.
It looks like a runaway.
That's it, the Overlander's bearing down on the Battlehawk. This is also one of my favourite scenes in the whole show. This is
It's under manual control.
What?
Someone's driving it.
What? Oh, a lovely shot of the underside of Battlehawk here as the Overlander cruises past. Oddly, they didn't think to move Battlehawk yet.
That was close. Too close. He's trying to ram us. Close the cargo door.
10-10.
Maybe we should have done that before it had a chance to go at us, but...
Get Battle Tank out there.
Yeah, Battle Tank. Actually, Battle Tank and also Battlehawk have got a lot of weight to them in this scene, a lot of size. There's
Head it off.
Sure.
Oh, there's a tree. And there was a tree. Battle Tank just doesn't have time for trees. And it's kind of dull and repetitive as it got seeing the Terrahawks battling in deserts, because it was always in deserts.
To open fire.
Yes.
These scenes always look lovely. Oh, that's it. Hit on the Overlander. And again, oh. And it looked like there's some real damage to the model there. Bits are flying off, and it's now got a great big hole in it. But Darrel's still not stopping, although the cube is blasting the door open just in case it needs to get away. Oh, that's it. Rear section of the Overlander gone, and... oh, I love that. It tips onto its back, and there's wheels flying all over the place, and then... boom. Of course, this Overlander is the Terrahawk supply train, so it's got all their...
Gotcha.
It's got all their food and supplies on, so... any attack on the Overlander is quite a serious blow to the organisation. Tiger won't have his crab's claw for another week or so. I don't know how long it is between supply runs.
Here it comes again.
You going to take off yet?
1050.
Oh, finally. You've given it enough chances to get you. Culminating this, oh, it only just misses.
Sensors indicate 7.3 centimeters clearance, sir.
Thank you, Zero. Tell Battle Tank not to let it get away. I want whoever's behind that wheel.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, this poor Overlander model. Oh, that's it, front section. Oh, tyres flying all over the place. The cube and Darrel are flying out the open door. Oh, this poor model. I don't know if they had like a master model for the not being destroyed scenes, but this one being blown up and smashed and ruined and crushed looks just as real as the regular one.
Well, Mr. Mark Darrel.
Cube's damaged. Damaged a bit more now.
I see you've made some new friends. Bad choice. On your feet.
He is on his feet.
Questions to answer. A lot of questions.
I suppose that's the danger of recording dialogue before the visuals have been filmed. Occasionally little bits like that sneak through. Anyway, Darrel has now been taken back to Hawk Nest.
I'm telling you the truth, I swear it. All I wanted was a story.
I don't buy it, Darrel. I don't buy any of it.
Why do you assume everything he says is a lie?
Because that's the safe option. Lock him up.
Right. Let's get rolling.
First cubes, now balls.
So Darrel
I'll come quietly.
still seems to be a bit sassy at this point. He says all he wanted was the story.
Option. What about fair?
And it certainly looks like he was under the hypnotic control of Zelda for the time he was at the controls of the Overlander.
Condemning Darrel without any real evidence or proof.
Because the cube shined that green light in his face.
Higher security.
He was following a story. He's a reporter.
He tried to ram us. In my book, that's attempted murder.
Then he should stand trial.
How can he go into open court with what he knows?
So you're to be the judge and jury?
And this is the other scene I felt was far too serious in this episode.
Why don't you go all the way? Eliminate Darrel, and you eliminate all security risk. That's a really safe option.
Yeah, this is probably the definitive scene in why the Terrahawks puppets can't handle great drama.
Hey, what about a drink of water?
I can't leave my post.
Which isn't to say that
Those look like tungsten steel. I'm not...
the show can't support that level
I'll watch him.
of storytelling, as was proven a lot in the Big Finish audios. I think it's just something about the visuals.
Better. Much better.
Anyway, that's a very quick shot. Darrel just forced his way out of his prison cell.
What's that?
Bent the bars with his bare hands, and he's gone.
Flaming thunderbolts.
So, by this point, you're starting to see that...
Destroy the Terrahawk.
there's something a bit odd about Darrel. There's, one or two inconsistencies.
Are you alright, man?
I'll be fine. Stay here in case he tries to double back.
And this poor Zero doesn't even have a number. Anyway, Darrel's now heading to the magazine. Oh, lots of explosives and such. How's he going to get in? Punch his fist through the metal door.
Mary's down here? Yes, sir. She went after the prisoner.
So, at this point, we've seen that Darrel is a human being. We've seen him under the control of Zelda, but now suddenly he's doing things that a human being shouldn't be able to do, at least not without severe injury. But Darrel just bent steel bars and punched through a metal door like it was nothing.
Yes, there are certain psychiatric conditions that can impart tremendous physical strength for brief periods.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
And we're going to discover why in a minute, and it's one of the enduring mysteries of the entire series. Just what the hell is the deal with Mark Darrel? Anyway, he's now priming a bomb. But Mary's gone in after him.
Darrel?
Tiger's here too.
I want to talk to you.
Sure. Come in, Einstein. But alone.
And poor old Mary's hair looks, well, she's had a rough day so far. She's a little the worse for wear. And this is a nicely tense and effective search for Darrel in the magazine, and oh, he's knocked Tiger over. Tiger's lost his gun, but Mary's found it. It's all up to her to save the day now.
This whole place goes up and there's nothing you can do about it.
Hold it, right there. Move back, Darrel. I said, move back.
I'm trying to. I seem to be held in some sort of force field.
Don't buy it, Mary.
I'm trying to break it.
Mary, fire.
Give me a chance. You wouldn't shoot a man in cold blood.
For space's sake, Mary, don't trust him.
I'm going to turn the detonator off. Don't shoot.
The Terrahawks puppets have really ugly hands close up as well. So Darrel claims he's trying to fight it, but there's that voice in the green light. Can't fight it anymore. So Mary shoots him down. I don't understand why she's so sad.
Got him, Mary.
Considering she could have used the stun setting but didn't. She clearly used kill.
Take a look.
And yet, somehow,
He was an android.
Yep.
Right.
Even though it doesn't really track with...
I had this theory.
With a lot of what we've seen previously.
I'm sorry.
So, right, Darrel
Takes a mighty big...
was presumably a human being from the start of the story, and then when Zelda met him, he was still human, and then they took him back to her ship, and the next time we see him, he's out in the desert with a cube, still being sassy, takes control of the Overlander. I'm guessing from... the original Darrel never left Zelda's ship, and yet this android was programmed with his personality down to the sarcasm and sassiness and talking back to Zelda, even though he was now her creation and she didn't need to program that into him in the first place. It's very confusing, that revelation, and I think it's only in there to let Mary off the hook, even though, as I say, the Terrahawks guns have a stun setting, so she needn't have killed him anyway. But it does feel like just, oh, no, he was an android, so it doesn't matter, makes it easy. And Zelda never made androids out of any other humans, as far as I remember, could be wrong. So it's a very vague, confusing ending that, I don't know, it doesn't let the episode down at all, because we have that spectacular stuff with the Overlander and the model sequences in the desert, so it's all good for that. You know, a good early episode of Terrahawks, one of the best of the early days, I think.